Hello everybody, welcome to a Jumputi Heroes prediction video. We we have a few summons that I recorded that didn't really made into videos because it's been crazy busy. It's been some crazy busy times for me. So here are the summons on the screen now, and we got some good pulls. I'm not gonna lie, we've had some luck. My luck took this massive switch up turnaround out of nowhere. Surely this can only mean bad things are coming in my future. But what we're here to talk about today is the next event. Now I need to get a quick turnaround on this video because I'm recording this Tuesday night. I had planned to do it earlier, but like I said, things did come up. And I have a very strong feeling that this event is going to be announced tomorrow, which would be Wednesday morning for UK time, my time, or in Japan time, when they normally announce events around 3 o'clock in the afternoon JST. I have a strong feeling we are going to get the next event announced, and if you've been paying attention, if you had your fingers on the pulse, you've been in the Discord or whatever, you'll know the next event is going to be Black Clover. Now, normally when I do my predictions, I mean, the timings of them keep changing because they keep changing when they release events, but when I do the predictions, I normally do like a few events. We're only going to talk about the next one. The reason we're only going to talk about the next one is because I kind of have some ideas for Christmas and New Year. The problem is I have nothing to go off of. So I'm going to work on those videos a little bit longer and just see what I come up with, because I do have some ideas. They're not quite fully thought out yet. I need to process. I need to consider. But for the Black Clover event, this is where I'm kind of torn. They have waited until this point to announce it, but we already have the login bonus image in the files, and we already have the ticket in the files. So they should only be in the files if the login bonus starts tomorrow, because the next data download should be on Thursday, which would mean they are announcing the event tomorrow, and then the event is starting tomorrow. But I really felt like it was going to be a full feature festival. I don't know if I still believe that. Maybe. The thing is, when the Putty feature was originally created, it was for Kimetsu no Yaiba, and the idea was it's a 7-day event. It's an event that only lasts a week, so there is less content in it, but it's a shorter event, so that makes sense. In the instance of Yu-Gi-Oh, however, it was almost the length of a full-fledged feature festival, but it was like much smaller in size. Much smaller. Still got a limit though. Kimetsu no Yaiba didn't get a limit. Yu-Gi-Oh still got a limit. My feeling is that with Black Clover, just simply okay, yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh is missing a lot of characters, but I feel like with Black Clover, there are so many characters missing, and it's a series that has a large pool of characters in the main roster. Like, the Black Balls is a massive group of characters, and there's characters outside the Black Balls that you would consider, you know, part of the main ensemble or part of, you know, the important characters, and like none of them are there. We only have Mars, Asta, Noel. Unless I'm forgetting someone, but I don't think I am. So we only have 3 Black Clover characters, and there are a lot of very easy characters to add. Like, if you were doing standard gacha, I think characters like Magna, characters like Luck, characters like Mimosa, Finral, all characters that can be added very easily standard gacha, and, you know, no one's really going to question it. Whereas some of the other characters, like, for example, a limited. Who makes sense as a limited? Because I'm kind of torn between 3 characters. One of them would just be another Asta. I could see that. I could totally see that. Do I think it's going to happen? But I could see it. You know, I could 100% see. Now, I should point out that in the files for a very, very long time, for about a year, we have had a stage for the Royal Knight Selection Exam. That is an arc where Yuno is particularly limited worthy, I would say. He has a major power-up, he has a major, I guess, form change. Like, I would say, from that arc, he has a moment that makes him limited worthy. Now, some people might disagree, but, you know, at this point, we had Guy Sensei, standard, normal, just Guy Sensei, none of his special power-ups, just Guy, as a limited. So, at this point, I think the gloves are off. And we kind of just gotta go ham with these limiteds. So, let's look at the facts. If that stage does get used, and I don't see any reason why they wouldn't use it, Yuno has to be a shoo-in for the limited, in my opinion. However, there is another major arc that they might want to cover. And the thing is, the arc I'm talking about, the Royal Knight Selection Exam, is not that long. It's, you know, it's a quite sizable for Black Clover, because Black Clover arcs are typically quite short, but it's not that long. Whereas, the arc that follows is by far the longest arc in Black Clover, and there is a lot of moving parts, a lot of potential limiteds, popular characters, all this stuff. Would the temptation maybe be too much to just, you know, ignore the Royal Knight Selection Exam? Bear in mind, the Royal Knight Selection Exam, they made that stage like a year ago. This arc that follows was not over a year ago. So now, a year has passed, this arc has passed. I'm kind of talking vaguely here because I don't know what's okay to spoil, because I don't know how far along the anime is. The arc I'm talking about is the reincarnation arc. As far as I know, the anime has not finished it yet, but I could be wrong on that because I do not watch it. But I do read it. And this arc is massive, which I think kind of divided some of the fans of Black Clover, simply because up until now, the pace of the story was one of the major selling points. Some people might not have liked that. For me, it was like, bam, new story, bam, new story. Let's go, boys. But this arc was huge. And you could see a new form of Asta from this arc. You could see a Yuno. I mean, this is probably the arc where you would say a limited Yami would be on the cards, and I'd be totally okay with that. I think, as far as characters go, he is, I don't know, he's probably one of my favourites from Black Clover. I know who my favourite is. I'm not sure if she'll get in, but that also comes down to whether it is a feature festival or a pooty feature. If it's a feature festival, we can expect around 10 characters. If it's a pooty feature, 4 or 5 characters. And if we're only getting 4 or 5, there's a lot of characters that are just not getting in. Like, I've got... Okay, look. Here's the list I made for if it was an event based around the Royal Knight Selection Exam. And you can see all the characters there. Some of those choices I'm still not 100% settled on, but this was kind of what I was spitballing in my head. If this is a pooty feature, you got to cut half of them. Half of them are just not happening. Like, you'll probably get I would say a gacha to counter an event, the same way we got Bakura to counter... Wait, who the fuck did Bakura counter? Oh, he countered like Teia's event. He was like a boost for Teia's event. And you get a free unit, and you'll get a standard event unit and a limited, and something like that. So 4 or 5 units. I would say an Awakening event, but Black Clover doesn't have any, so probably not an Awakening event. But if we got a full feature festival, you can get like 10 solid characters in there. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Now this, like I said, is for the Royal Knight Selection Exam. My choices would be very different if we're talking about the reincarnation arc. The issue is, it's such a new arc in the anime and in the manga. I will say, just because it's new, that doesn't mean they won't do it. Kimetsu no Yaiba has already covered content twice. Jumputi has already covered Kimetsu no Yaiba content twice that has not happened in the anime. So, and like My Hero Academia, it covered an arc that hadn't happened in the anime yet. So, you know, it's not like they won't. I'm just saying. If it's the reincarnation arc, though, I can't realistically see a way it can't be a feature festival. Wait, what am I trying? Did I say that right? It has to be a feature festival. The arc is just too sizable, and I don't know. You'd be doing it a disservice. Whereas with the Royal Knight selection, I could see that possibly being a Pooty feature. They'll get a limited out. They'll get some good content. The bottom line is, I would like it to be a feature festival, okay? I don't know if I've ever made this particularly clear in the past, but my general opinion of Black Clover is I think it is a okay series. I'm not going to be one of those guys that's hyping it up like crazy, because it ain't that big. And I'm not going to be one of those people that's saying it's trash and it needs to get in the bin and all that. It's okay. It's enjoyable. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters. And there are a lot of good characters in there. And I do like the way some of it's paced. And yeah, sure, some of it's kind of annoying. And kind of whatever. And it relies quite heavily on tropes. But it's watchable. It's 100. Well, I haven't watched the anime that much. But it's readable. It's readable. So, there on the left is what I would hope to see from a Royal Knight selection exam event, and here on the right is what I would like to see from a reincarnation arc event. And I want to say I think the reincarnation arc at this point in time seems like the more likely thing to happen. Whether that would be the case, I don't know. But I've got my fingers crossed. We're going to find out very soon. And that's going to be it for this video. A bit of a shorter one, but we only covered one event. And we're going to just try and get some content out. This Thursday, data download. Or news video to... I don't know. Whenever they announce the news, maybe we'll make a video. We'll do something. I've been slacking. It's time to get stuck in. I'll see you guys next time.